High on the slopes of Mount Parnassus lay Delphi, the most sacred place in ancient Greece. It was here, in the Temple of Apollo, that a single voice could sway the destiny of nations. The Oracle of Delphi, a priestess known as the Pythia, sat upon her tripod above a fissure in the earth. From the ground rose strange vapors, a gift of Apollo himself, and when she inhaled them, her eyes clouded, her body shook, and her voice carried the weight of the divine. For nearly 1,000 years, rulers and warriors journeyed across the known world to hear her words. They brought gifts of gold, offerings of silver, and sacrifices of animals, hoping that Apollo's messenger would grant them clarity. But the oracle's gift was never clarity, it was riddles layered with hidden meaning. She did not tell men what they wanted to hear. She told them the truth, disguised so that only the wise could understand. When King Croesus of Lydia asked whether he should wage war on Persia, the oracle gave her reply: "If you cross the river, you will destroy a great empire." Croesus rejoiced, certain that the prophecy meant Persia would fall. He marched to war, and the empire that crumbled was his own. From that day forward, kings learned that the oracle spoke truth, truth twisted into riddles that punished arrogance. The oracle was not merely a curiosity of religion. She shaped history itself. Before the Persian invasion of Greece, the Athenians sought her guidance. She told them, "Trust in your wooden walls." At first, they thought she meant the city's defenses, but one man understood differently. The wooden walls were their fleet. When Xerxes and his vast army descended upon Greece, the Athenians evacuated their city and relied on their navy. In the waters of Salamis, they struck a blow so devastating that Persia never recovered. The oracle's riddle had saved Greece. But not every prophecy brought victory. Themistocles, the same man who had interpreted the wooden walls correctly, later consulted the oracle again. She warned him of disaster at sea. Yet he ignored her words, chasing ambition instead of wisdom, and his fleet was destroyed. The gods, it seemed, spoke through the oracle with precision, but men so often heard only what they wanted. In Sparta, the oracle's words became law. Before King Leonidas marched to Thermopylae, he too asked her guidance. She gave him a grim choice. Either Sparta would fall, or a Spartan king must die. Leonidas understood. He led 300 warriors to the pass, holding back the Persian tide until death claimed him. His sacrifice saved his city, fulfilling the prophecy in blood. Through centuries, the oracle became the voice not only of Apollo, but of fate itself. She spoke in riddles because destiny is not straight. She offered guidance that demanded wisdom, for only the discerning could separate warning from promise. To seek the oracle was to admit that even kings were powerless before the will of the gods. And yet, even as empires rose and fell at her words, whispers grew. Some said the Pythia's visions came not from Apollo, but from the vapors that rose from cracks in the earth's fumes of ethylene gas that clouded her mind. Perhaps her frenzy was divine. Perhaps it was natural. The ancients did not care. What mattered was that her words held power, and that power steered history itself. When the temple of Apollo was finally destroyed, and the oracle silenced, an age ended. No longer would kings bow before a priestess trembling on a tripod. No longer would empires gamble their futures on riddles breathed in smoke. But her legacy endured, a reminder that the line between prophecy and politics, between faith and fear, was never clear. The Oracle of Delphi remains one of history's greatest enigmas. Was she truly the voice of the gods, or the echo of human imagination? Whatever the answer, her words changed empires, saved nations, and doomed kings. A single prophecy could lift a people to glory or bury them in ruin. And in that uncertainty, the oracle's power was absolute.